Well, hello. This is Eric and Fumi coming to you from Casa de la Karen and Fumi, and we're very excited to bring to you the first ever MDP podcast about our work.
And our first guest, who else could it be? It's Mr. Eric Couper.
Yay!
Yay! So, Eric, what brings you to New York?
Well, I'm here. I came back to the U.S. For the holidays, was in Denver and Louisiana, and I'm just meeting with a few folks in New York before I head back to Tanzania.
Great. So, the first question I have, in case someone doesn't know, is can you tell us who your employer is and what your employer does?
Sure. So I'm actually employed through Columbia, through the Trap Ag department. So I guess I ultimately report to Pedro Sanchez and then Jeff Sachs from there. And I'm working for a project called the African Soil Information Service, or AFSIS by its exciting acronym. And AFSIS is creating a continent-wide map of soils of Africa. The most recent one was done in the 1970s and is out of date and of poor quality. So we are just working to improve that as well as conduct other agricultural research across Africa.
Interesting. And what exactly do you do? And let's keep this brief.
So I'm the ICT and Agriculture Coordinator, and I'm helping AFSIS to develop new tools to improve their agricultural research, mostly using Android smartphones and tablets. We want to make the research easier and cheaper.
And one of the interesting things about these kinds of interviews, for me at least, is you don't really know what a job is like until you actually work at the job.
Sure.
And so, have there been any surprises that you didn't foresee before you started the job?
Well, I've really been enjoying the freedom and flexibility the job has allowed, but it's definitely been something that's caught me off guard a little bit because my office isn't super big. It's a continent-wide project, so everyone's kind of scattered everywhere. A whole lot of people are in Nairobi. But that means that between my boss in Arusha and my more direct boss in New York, I have a lot of opportunity to pursue the things that are most interesting to me, and I just get feedback on a less frequently. I also really was surprised by how much I enjoyed a conference I went to in Johannesburg. Being a bit of an introvert, I was a little nervous going into it, but just being with people with similar interests and passions, I was delightfully surprised. I guess I'd put it that way.
And you've been traveling quite a bit, right? You were in Ethiopia
In
just a couple
December,
weeks ago,
right?
and you said you were in South Africa.
hmm
How's that part of your job? Do you get to travel a lot? And
So those are the two main trips I've done in the first 6 months. I also might be going to Malawi in February.
oh, that's
So
exciting.
yeah, it is. The tools that I've been working on the past 6 months, we're finally about at the point where we're going to roll them out for the teams to actually use. So I'll be training some folks in Malawi, and so they can start using them for the sort of official real-time work for socioeconomic research in northern Malawi.
Cool. How's your Chichewa?
Oh, my Chechewa, it's been quite a long time. My Swahili is getting okay. Rachel's is definitely a lot better. But
Say something for us in Swahili, Eric.
Odi,
I know that one.
Napenda Chakula. I like food.
Thank you. The next question I have is, what's been the biggest challenge or the hardest part of your job so far?
I think the hardest part of my job has been understanding the role that I have to play within the larger organization. It's a continent-wide project. My boss is working with a huge number of people on a very broad scale, and I just play one small role in it. So I'm constantly trying to ask questions to understand the bigger picture because, as all of us are, I'm really interested in how it all plays out and want to know how I can best maximize my time to fit within the larger objectives as the organization. And since I'm sort of in a smaller office and not exposed to the operations that are so spread out, it takes a lot of work to understand how this work that I'm doing connects with everyone else.
And on the other side, I guess, of challenges, what's been the most exciting part about your job?
I'm really excited about how the work I'm doing can transform and improve research, not just for Columbia or for AFSIS, but for a broader community of people in research, health, education, agriculture, but also for M&E teams. I really would like to see in 1 to 5 years' time many groups moving to mobile devices for their data collection. I think not everyone's giving it enough attention up till now, and we're hoping to help make that process easier for people. We've been putting a lot of information up on our blog about our experiences, and we'll be creating manuals to make it easier for other groups to do so.
And the most important question of all is, what is next for Eric Couper?
So, Fumi, you mentioned I was in Ethiopia in December. I was sent there by AFSIS because they are starting a very detailed, large-scale soil map of Ethiopia through a Gates-funded initiative through their Ministry of Agriculture. And so my boss sent me there then to help them get it started. And before I left, they asked me to stay on board and help them out there. We're in the negotiation stage, but I'd say it's fairly likely by March, Rach and I will be living in Addis, and I'll be helping as a project manager for the countrywide soil collection there, helping with the logistics, the organization of having 10 teams on the ground, all doing work in different parts of the country, as well as soil inventory and sort of bigger picture ideas about how to improve the agricultural research institutions in Ethiopia.
That's exciting. You're on to your second job in less than 6 months.
Well, it's definitely a continuation, and I hope that no matter how the HR arrangements work out, I'll still be in close connection and contact with my coworkers at Columbia.
And we hit the 6:30 mark, so I think that's it for today.
That's it. I send my love to all of those MDPers out there, and just keep up the good work, everybody.
And best wishes for 2012.
Hoorah.